number one news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley.
Yes.
And beyond.
Yes.
And you can take us with you wherever you go.
Yes.
Go to AVNewsCast.com or click on the Spreaker app available in the Apple Store or the Android Marketplace. And we're on your computer, your tablet, your smartphone. Take us wherever you go, which is a great thing. We've got a great show today. In a couple of minutes, we will have the incumbent and our current Assemblyman Steve Fox on the show.
Right.
In a couple, what do you mean, right?
I said right.
Okay. And then
I'm agreeing.
And then after our 8:30 break, around 8:35, we're going to reach out to J.D. Kennedy, also a candidate for a seat in the 36th Assembly District, Republican. A lot's been happening with him in the last day or two, and we're going to talk about that. Yeah, a lot of stuff has been going on. So this is going to be an interesting primary.
I love it.
Okay.
I just love it. I love how the dust settles and, you know, allies become new allies and pullouts, and, you know, I just love how it all works out.
It's going to be an interesting primary.
Yeah.
There isn't a doubt. Well, no, I'm not even going to say that.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, you know what?
I know
I
what
will.
you're going to say.
Okay. If, you know, on the Democratic ticket, to me, there's no doubt that we'll see Steve Fox on the other side of the primary.
Yeah.
Okay. The Republican ticket, there's a lot going on there. Okay. There is a lot going on. A lot going on between Tom Lackey and J.D. Kennedy, and
Somebody
then you've
better
also
get
got
it in gear.
Suzette Martinez. You know, that's a really interesting thing.
It is.
Because a lot of people said originally, hey, you know, why are there so many people running? People were upset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it still doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, you would think it does make sense. I have to take it back because the Republican Party, for the life of them, can't get on the same page. They got to branch out. Tea Party. What the heck is a Tea Party? You're a Republican.
Well,
with a hoodie. With a hoodie.
Oh,
come on. And we'll talk about that.
Did you like that, Joe?
We'll talk about that when we get J.D. Kennedy on the show.
I think that's a good one.
What?
Tea Party is Republicans with a hoodie.
I'll tell you something. In 2012, we held that candidate debate forum, and it was for everybody that was running for Congress and Senate at the time, as well as Assembly. Steve Knight was there, and Lee Rogers was there, and Steve Fox was there. You know, everybody was there. Ron Smith was a holdout at the last minute. He said, "You know what? I'm sorry. I can't be there. I'm committed to go out to the Tea Party in Little Rock." And we had about 200 people there. We had way more than that watching the live stream, and a lot of people got involved. And at the end of the day, Steve Fox took it by 143 votes.
Yep.
Okay. The amount of people there.
You know, it's getting the Tea Party, you know, on your side. Is it a plus? Sure, it's a plus. It's got to be a plus. There's no question about it. Is it an over-the-top plus? No, I don't think so. But each plus,
no, because I think that there's still it's
you know
still
what?
a small.
It's like a football game, and you just keep going for the first down, the first down, first down.
I would like to know what is it? What makes them so different? This Tea Party.
Well,
what do they admit their differences are? Because I could see it. The media shows them in a certain light.
Well, we'll talk about that, and I'm going to hold that off for J.D. Kennedy. There was a really neat.
He's not a Tea Party.
There was
Is
he got the Tea Party endorsement yesterday out in Little Rock.
Okay, but that doesn't make him a Tea Party.
No, it doesn't. I didn't say that.
I'll ask him.
Okay. In Isla Vista, it was there was a really neat memorial that took place out in the ocean. Okay. Hundreds and hundreds of students from UCSB and around.
We've got to take this call.
Well, so go ahead.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Fox. How are you?
Good morning, Assemblyman.
Pretty good. Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
You know, we were just talking before you came on the show. The election and everything going on in the primary, there's a lot of changes, a lot of stuff going on here. And you know, I had just said that, you know, on the Democratic side, I don't think there's any question that we'll see Steve Fox on the other side of the primary. But there's a lot of stuff going on the Republican end. But back to your side, Steve. You've been in the Assembly now for almost 2 years. The hot button topics are, jobs in the economy, public safety, education, veterans, mental health,
gun control.
Just yesterday, and I know you pushed really hard to get Southern California and specifically the Antelope Valley designated as a drone testing and research and development site. And I know you wanted that, and I don't. The fact that we didn't get it, I don't hold that against you, because I think California dropped the ball on that. But jobs in the economy, we need to bring more jobs to the Antelope Valley.
No question about it. We as you know, we got the enterprise zone passed. We almost lost it in the Senate side. So I went over there and lost until 11:30 at night. And literally, they had a late meeting, and I was able to get them to put the Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster back into the enterprise zone. And we got it, and it's actually the two requests of both mayors, the one top priority they both had also. It created now a number of components. One is that now when a company hires somebody, that person is a tax credit. So in addition to being an excellent employee, you can also say, I'm going to save you money. And now there's an additional reason to hire more people. We also gave the governor the ability to create his own tax package to go out of state and bring some business here. My suggestion to the Governor's Department of the governors was to let's look at the businesses in Palmdale and then say, give us your other business you have in the other states, bring it here to Palmdale, and we'll give you the tax deduction. So I'm working on that concept. Nobody liked it. It fits within the parameters. So my whole goal is I want to bring jobs not only to California, but specifically to the Antelope Valley. And that's where the big push has to be. I sit on the Jobs Committee. I've co-authored numerous economic bills. I just co-authored also one that I think will bring money to California. That's with the movie industry. We've been losing most of our movies. Most of them are not made in California anymore. The companies are still based here. They love the weather. They just can't make a profit. So we passed the bill yesterday without a price tag number yet. That after the Budget Committee. And what we're going to do is we're going to give a long-term tax credit to the movie industry. And they'll get for the first $1 million of each film, they'll get a 25% tax credit if it's in L.A. and a 30% if it's out of L.A. in another part of the state. So we're going to give long-term tax credits if they produce the movies here. Our feeling is for every dollar we invest and they hire somebody here locally, it's going to at least produce another $2 in return. Mm-hmm. So I'm working on a number of projects with a number of the other assemblymen who feel the same way, that business, if you want jobs, you have to help business grow. It's a simple formula. So we want to stimulate the businesses in California.
Now, the Antelope Valley, we used to be known for having maybe 300 different motion picture or television or commercial productions shot up here in the 36th district.
Really?
Yeah, about 300 a year, which is really huge.
Nice, yeah.
But what you just mentioned, Steve, and giving them tax credits, will that be available to everybody, or do you have to have a big budget film or a lottery kind of situation?
So it's going to be both the small and the large budget movies. And it's also going to be available to a TV series. So from the way I'm reading the bill, it's going to be comprehensive. And again, there was a difference in the amount for the local to Los Angeles, which we fit in, and those outside of L.A. Our district is 3 counties, by the way, but most of the film industry, I think, would be right here in the Antelope Valley. So the good news is once the tax credits come in, they can start producing using our area again for the background, their westerns, or whatever they're going to use. So I'm looking forward to creating more jobs right here locally. Mm-hmm.
Now, I know in your first year up at the Assembly, you had your name on about 120 some odd bills. One of the bills...
You end up co-authoring them that you agree with, and you try to lobby to get them through. So I've looked for those. I've made relationships. I've had other settlement come in and ask me to co-author. And when you sit on the committees, you can say, I like that bill, let me help you get it through, both the committee and the legislature. I talked to a number of bills to try to convince my fellow assemblymen to push them through. So yes, we have done a lot. I've got a great staff, I have to tell you, up here. And their number one priority is how do we help or how do we bring business to the Antelope Valley? So we're doing our best, and I'd like to keep that going.
Now, on the other side of bringing business to the Antelope Valley, let's talk about public safety. I know, with Christopher Hubert and the Judge Brown in Santa Clara saying, basically, I don't care what anybody says, I'm still going to release him, and he's still going there. I know you're still working on things, and I understand and I hear that you're still working on things to try to do something about Christopher Hubert coming to the Antelope Valley.
It's more than just him. There's 900 predators that are scheduled for release. What we found is, number one, we're a dumping ground. It became more evident with Christopher Hubbard. We have 10% of the sex offenders here in the Antelope Valley, and we have only 2.5% of the population in L.A. We are being dumped on. Mm-hmm. Part of it's because of the current Justice's law that says you can't have a predator within 2,000 feet of a school. And we're the one area in the Antelope Valley, or in L.A., it's the Antelope Valley, that there's lots of territory. So the other problem is that once a judge, such as in Santa Clara County, as in Mr. Hubert's case, they release them to L.A., they still keep the jurisdiction under the current law. They can still decide where to move them. They can decide where to violate them. Makes no sense. So I worked with the district attorney's office, and we produced Assembly Bill 1607, which, number one, gives the DA and the county of domicile the right to argue that it's the wrong place. And number two, and more important, if a sex predator comes to L.A., the jurisdiction of the court follows that predator, so that we can say to an L.A. court now, like in Hubert's case, the Antelope Valley is the wrong place in L.A., please move him. Or we can say this person doesn't belong around this area. So, or if they violate it, we don't have to go to Santa Clara County and say he's violated. We can do it right here in River City, right here in the Antelope Valley. Mm-hmm. So the goal, and that bill passed unanimously in the State Assembly. Now it's going over to the Senate side. I think a lot of people agree with me. That's only step one. What I'd like to do for next year is say that the sex predators go in nobody's backyard. If we can decide which county a predator goes in, why can't we decide that they have to stay on prison grounds and live? Why can't we say they stay in the state hospital and live there for the rest of their lives? The current law would have given them life imprisonment. So why are we now stuck with old laws that let them out? Why can't we just say, okay, they're never going to get better. They're a danger to our community. Let's just stick them where they belong, which is the prison or the state hospital. So my next goal for next year, if the public's kind enough to give me a second term, is to make sure that those predators never come to our backyard again.
Amen.
Steve, let me ask you a question. With the recent tragedy in Isla Vista, one thing that's been being talked about is having the medical field or the mental health field involved in some sort of gun legislation. And I know in your first year, there were a lot of bills and there was a lot of gun legislation that took place up in Sacramento. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You want to control the you want to take the guns out of the hands of any mentally ill, but at the same token, there's a lot of very intelligent gun owners that are very responsible. So we have to be careful with that. That's separate from that. And I think what they have to do here is make laws and regulations on the mentally ill where they can't be here at the time. And in that respect. And yet, at the same token, you can even up the amount of classes and education for people who do go home there. But we don't take the guns away from responsible people either.
No.
Because you know, and I know the criminals are going to get them anyway. Make sure the general population is protected.
Yeah, I mean, and that's common sense. I don't see why there should be an argue with that. But I had a question when you were finishing up on 1607, the assembly bill that you're in the midst of development. What happens, Mr. Fox, if you're not reelected to that? If you're creating that now to start this big push that's going to end up protecting us all, what happens to that bill? If you don't get another...
It's my hope that I'll get that bill done before the end of my term.
Okay.
The fear I've got is the next level of making sure those predators never come to our backyard, making them stay in prison or live at the prison or live in the state hospital. Again, I was able to take good, responsible, conservative bills, and I have the backing of the Democratic Party, which is 2/3 of the legislature. If I'm replaced, I I hesitate
They have to
to
start
think
from
what will
scratch.
happen.
Yeah.
It's not right, but Republican bills don't get through committee or through most of them don't get through on the legislature. Again, I don't agree with that, but the politics up here being what it is. So I don't have an answer. I will still lobby to help our community even if I'm not in office, but that is a reality. And so I'm not really sure what would happen.
Now, let me ask you this, too. How beneficial do you think it was for you to have the legal background to be able to be in the position that you're in? Because it just seems that it was such an easy fit for you. You understood the language. You understood what you had to do. You understood, how to go about the whole thing. It just seems it's like such a natural fit for you to be there because of your law background.
It was. But I'd like to think, it isn't just because you're the down that's in there or just because you're the attorney. You got to work hard, too. I had to learn a lot, too. But it really felt like it just said, I was on the hospital board for 14 years. I got some health background. I was a school teacher for 10. I've got education background. And I was an attorney for 20. And so I can argue with Ledge Counsel when they tell me something's not legal. I can say I'm the attorney. And I point out where it is legal. So in those respects, the background, it's almost like everything you do in your life leads to where you are today.
Right.
And I'd say, I'm 61 and I've had School of Hard Knocks, but I've learned a lot. I've only learned, but I've learned a lot, and I think it really helps coming up here. And again, I have to give some kudos to my staff. I got the number one chief of staff used to run Governor Davis's office. I have a great PR person, Sandra Kramer, who came from Lake LA, our district. And I hired both political parties on my staff, Democrats and Republicans, and I said, this is the people's office. And I think it was a good fit. It still is, and I have so much more I want to get done.
I really appreciate the fact that you hired across party lines, because representing all people, you do need to take that into account. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, because
in our bills, like our drone bill, I walked the halls. I got both party support on our South State Alamo Valley College. I through the state assembly. I walked the halls. Got both bipartisan support. The bill the other day on the sexual predator 1607, there was a 66-0 vote. Our votes our bills are crossing party lines because they're helping people, and we're getting support from both parties. And I think that's what's important. That we're trying to help our community. Even our squatters bill. I made a bill specifically to the Alamo Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster. That way I can.
Did we lose you, Mr. Fox?
Flavors.
Oh,
I'm sorry. What?
You chimed out for a minute. I think your signal. Are you calling on a cell phone?
I'm calling on a cell phone, and the reason is because the only landline around me are our government landlines. I'm not allowed to use those.
Got it.
I don't know what questions you were going to ask. I want to follow every rule and regulation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I use my private cell phone, which I can then talk whatever I want.
Absolutely. Well, if you're reelected, when you're reelected,
that's a good example if I can.
When you're reelected, Mr. Fox, I want to talk to you about a bill that I want you to bring up there to Sacramento.
I'm always open. I think, first of all, I don't take anything for granted, and I need everybody's help. But ideas come from all sides of the box. We sent out an email, there ought to be a law. And the winner of it, we took and we made his idea into a bill. So we try to be open to everybody, an open-door policy. You can talk to any of the staff or myself. Anybody can give me a text on my cell. It's pretty easy. The number is 661-435-1811. I encourage people to give us ideas. And I'm hoping that I'll get another chance to continue the good work that we work together on.
Well, you've been working hard. We wish you the best of luck. I'm pretty sure that we'll see you on the other side of the primary. It's the general election is going to really be a tough one.
I know, because there is an 8% drop-off in Dems usually in general, but we've been registering people too, both sides of the coin. The goal is to connect with everybody. And I'm hoping that I've earned both parties' respect, since I used to be a Republican for 30 years and now I'm the Dem. But the bottom line is I went across party lines to everybody, and I'm hoping that I get that additional chance so that we can get more done for our Antelope Valley, both in jobs and protect the safety of our community. And I'm going to do my very best.
Well, thanks, Steve. I know you're up there in the state legislature, so thanks for taking the time to come on the show today. I'd love to get back on Tuesday, Election Day, if I could, for a couple of minutes.
I'll be in the district. I'm coming. I'm taking off today, I'm giving up the per diem and coming down, and I'm moved around everything so I can be there with our community on Election Day.
Okay.
Cool. I'll reach out to you. Have a great day, and thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Take care.
Thanks. You know, you're funny. Okay?
What did I do?
You're funny.
What did I do?
Well, nothing. But you know, you are a Democrat through and through.
Yeah. Well, he speaks to me.
I hear you. Okay.
He speaks to me, but you know, and it's very tough because Tom Lackey speaks to me too.
You know, and you know what's neat about that? Okay, is that because I know you bleed Democrat.
I do. I think I really do.
But I really like the fact that you know that somebody on the other side, okay, can speak to you and you go, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, once in a while you become human.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Once in a while.
Okay.
Okay? Maybe every 6 months there's just a little light bulb that goes off.
You know
okay?
what? Okay.
Which is cool.
You know, I'm honest about how I feel, and I think that, you know, what he talks about is a benefit for all people, for us to live our day-to-day life when we walk out of our homes. He's not trying to, you know, change what we do in our households. He's not even trying to take away guns. So I don't understand why people have a problem with the Democrats wanting to rein it in a little tighter. But I do appreciate talking to a politician that is emotionally charged by what happens in the world. And it's not like, you know, let's not react because of this. Let's not overreact. You know, it is what it is, but, you know, we can't take away guns. I mean, I watched a 2020 episode probably 6 months ago where they talked about a lot of gun owners that their kid has shot themselves in the head, they shot their neighbor. These mistakes happen all the time. And these are with responsible gun owners. All I'm saying is that we need to have tighter control, tighter laws that would make people that own guns, you know, think twice about how they secure them. If you know, Angie's Law that we talked about when Sandy Hook came up, if you prosecute the parent for the loon child that goes out and shoots all over the place, if that child lives in the house, no matter how old it is, you know, it might make somebody say, you know what, I got to make sure that this is being done correctly.
If a child gets a hold of a gun that belongs to the parent, okay, and goes out and murders someone, or even commits suicide, okay,
the parent should be going.
I think so.
Absolutely. Why is that not the case?
I think so. In some
now
states,
it's like, oh, I'm so sorry your kid did that with your own gun.
Okay, in some states across the country,
yeah.
it is like that. California right now, it's not necessarily that way.
I saw an episode, the 2020 episode that I was talking about. The mother was a cop, and she says from the time that her child was really young, she made sure that her child was comfortable with guns, and she kept her gun on her dining room table, and she was sure that her kids never touched her gun. They put cameras up, and her kids touched the gun.
Well, of course, it's curiosity.
Yeah, it's curiosity.
Right.
And people that do silly stuff like that, their kids end up shooting themselves in the head. I mean, there was a police officer that lost his 3-year-old child because he puts his gun in a little basket on top of his dresser. I mean, it's just this carelessness that people think, you know, it's a sport. It's not a dangerous tool or a dangerous weapon. It's just something that I use for sport. But people are losing their lives.
Well, but yes, and I know what you're saying, but you know what? In the kitchen, you've got 12-inch steak knives, too. People
I understand.
are losing their lives that way, too.
Yeah. I totally get that. But I think that we can regulate stronger on guns. I'm not taking it from you. I'm just saying if your 3-year-old shoots himself, you're going to jail because you're an idiot.
Okay.
If your 13-year-old...
Talk to them. Don't...
Well, I'm just saying, you know, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with going that extra mile?
I don't have any problem
if
with
you
that.
know that you got a lunatic,
No,
if you have a
not at all.
lunatic 16-year-old and you lock up your knives. Listen, I'm going through foster parenting.
Yeah, we still have the shackles on our...
Yeah, and they said you lock your knives up until
Yep.
you know who you have in your house. If you know you got a loony 16-year-old, don't have the butcher blocks filled with the knives so he could just have at it. I mean, know your family.
Well, that's I agree. I
And
agree.
then, you know, with the father of Elliot, if you call the police and you say, I want you to go check on my child, don't just go knock on the door. Oh, no one answered. Go in the house, say, listen, there's some stuff going on. We need to, make sure you don't have anything dangerous here. The father has had to have gone to a huge level of fear for him to say, I'm going to call the police to go check on my child.
They did, but the police went there. And, I listened to somebody on another show the other day, and they were talking about people that maybe they're a little mentally unstable, right? Mm-hmm. But some people are able to pull themselves together and present well for 20 minutes, mm-hmm. okay, as Roger did, okay, present well for 20 minutes so that the police and law enforcement say, he's a little weird, but he's okay.
But if we had a law that said, go out and be cautious, just like with child abuse. You take the kids out because you want to make sure that you err in the benefit of the child. If you go in and there was a call and it was a valid call, to me, I don't see there's anything wrong with taking your guns for 60 days until you get checked out or whatever. To me,
you know what? It should almost be standard procedure, okay? Yeah. That if they're going out there because somebody called and said, hey, da-da-da-da-da, mm-hmm. Well, how about just doing this? If you don't take the guns, at least run a check on them right then and there to see what they own, okay?
Why? So you know exactly what they used? Take the guns.
No, you can't. Law enforcement, they are not trained psychiatrists or psychologists.
No, you take the guns and you give them the pamphlet that gives them 12 therapists that they can go get evaluated, and in 60 days, if the therapist says that you're cleared, you can come get your guns.
Well, it may not be a bad idea.
If you beat your wife one time, or if you had a bar brawl one time, you get no guns, period. If you have a little inkling of violence in you, you get no guns.
Okay, may not be a bad idea, except the kink in that is you're in the process of going through divorce. Your soon-to-be ex-wife is mad at you. Mm-hmm. She calls and says, you know what, he did that, and all of it is a lie.
Yeah, that's true.
Now they're taking his guns away.
Okay.
That's a problem.
But the benefit is, just like you guys are with the death penalty, that you don't have a problem with a couple of them being innocent and executed.
I do have a problem with
it.
You
said
but there's a margin of error.
Yeah, a margin of error is a life.
I understand.
How do you say a margin of error? That's a life.
I understand what you're saying. Okay.
Okay, so have that same margin with this.
Okay. No, I can't.
What? So what?
No.
Steve, you're kidding me.
No, I'm very serious.
You mean to tell me there's not an acceptable margin of error with taking guns, even if it's unwarranted, but there is an acceptable margin of error with killing somebody on death row that's innocent?
No, what I'm saying is...
No, because that's what you said.
There has to be something strict. If law enforcement is going to be able to go over and confiscate guns just based on a telephonic allegation, there has to be some boundary there.
What is it going to be?
What do you mean?
I mean, there's not going to be a boundary, though.
There has to be, because they're not trained. Okay?
No, and they do.
Now, I'll tell you something else,
Don't talk to me about them not being trained.
I'll tell you something else, though, and then we have to go to break, but I'll tell you something else.
Go ahead.
Now, and we're talking about, like, LA County Sheriff. Mm-hmm. LAPD, mm-hmm. If LAPD, this is their policy, if they're going out to make a welfare check on somebody, because somebody says, this guy's 5150, mm-hmm. okay, they go with a psychologist.
Yeah.
One accompanies the officers.
As it should be.
Okay.
I don't know if they do that all the time.
I just told you, it's policy.
Okay. Oh, that means it really happens.
Oh, for crying out loud. Okay. You know what?
Shoot, it's policy. Jeff, I just saw an article of a dog, a canine dog, a police dog, that was left in the car for 8 hours. That. Okay. Yeah. Left in the car for 8 hours. Mm-hmm. Killed the dog, but the cop wasn't charged.
No, he wasn't.
Isn't that where's the policy?
You know what? And I saw that too, okay? And that was his partner. That was his canine, mm-hmm. okay?
He killed his partner.
He did. He left him in the car for 8 hours. Mm-hmm. It was 95 degrees outside. I don't know how hot it was.
What? The policy don't cover if you kill your partner?
The prosecutor in that case, for some reason, said there wasn't enough evidence to win a conviction. Hey, Jeff,
what?
That's what he said. Okay?
So the dog wasn't found in the back of the vehicle?
He was. We have to take a break.
We need a break.
We have to take a break. Can we take a break, Jeff?
Yes, sir.
You're listening to AVNewsCast, the #1 news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley and beyond, and we'll be right back.
Chronic Beats. Dr. Lee Rogers.
We need to end the bickering, the partisan politics, and the gridlock in Washington.
Lee Rogers is a doctor who solves real problems for a living. Lee Rogers will put Washington to work for middle-class families by closing tax loopholes for Wall Street banks, rebuild our infrastructure, and protect Medicare and Social Security. Lee Rogers, doing what's right for our families.
I'm Lee Rogers, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Lee Rogers for Congress.
Hi, I'm J.D. Kennedy, a Marine Corps veteran with 3 deployments to Iraq, and I'm running for State Assembly. I served as Congressman McKeon's Veteran Affairs Representative, and I'm a member of Operation All the Way Home, board member of the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm the president of LA County Air Show. As your Assemblyman, I'll fight to create jobs in our community and to keep criminals off our streets. Our problems can be fixed with simple, common sense answers, but we need new leadership in Sacramento. My name is J.D. Kennedy. I fought for you 3 times in Iraq. Vote for me on June 3rd. Send me to Sacramento. I'll fight for you there. Visit my website, kennedyforassembly.com, and follow me on Facebook.
Hello, I'm Tom Lackey, your experienced conservative candidate for the State Assembly in the Tuesday, June 3rd election. As a retired Highway Patrol Sergeant and Antelope Valley resident since 1996, I served as a school board and city council member for 14 years. As your assembly representative, I'll stand up for our shared values. The record shows I work to solve problems, not create them. With your help on June 3rd, we can break the far-left supermajority in Sacramento and stop the bleeding of our jobs. I'm Tom Lackey, your experienced candidate.
There's a school in Palmdale that's become the talk of the town. It's called the Guidance Charter School, and many parents say it's magical. The Guidance Charter School is WASP accredited, scored 783 in academic performance, and has an educational curriculum that exceeds the state of California standards. The curriculum is enriched through age-appropriate exposure to information technology, arts, foreign language such as Arabic, and physical education. The Guidance Charter School has a winning CIF sports program with soccer, basketball, cross-country, volleyball, swimming, cheerleading, and more. An open enrollment, free tuition school, publicly funded. They've been in business for 12 years and are fully approved by the Palmdale School District. The Guidance Charter School has small classroom environment, 20 students in grades K through 3, 25 students in grades 4 through 8, and no more than 30 students in grades 9 through 12. Call the Guidance Charter School in Palmdale at 661-285-1600. That's the Guidance Charter School in Palmdale at 661-285-1600. And check out their website at thegcs.org. A better high school choice.
Antelope Valley residents, this is Assistant Sheriff James Helmold seeking your vote for sheriff. As a 25-year veteran of the department, I'm not a politician. I'm a crime fighter committed to keeping our neighborhood safe. I will ensure your sheriff's department is responsive to the Antelope Valley, not a one-size-fits-all approach from downtown Los Angeles. Let's also expand community involvement and youth outreach to ensure future success. I'm proud to be endorsed by both mayors and councils, local churches, and community groups. This is your sheriff's department. Please vote James Helmold for sheriff.
This is Palmdale Mayor Jim Ledford, and we have a great opportunity on June 3rd. We will be electing a new...
Welcome back to AVNewsCast.com.
He's such a nervous Nelly.
I'm not.
You are. You're such a nervous Nelly.
No, it's you're just casual about
Yes,
everything.
because it's gonna work.
Okay. What we should do is reach out to J.D. Kennedy.
Yeah, we're calling
See
him
if
right
we can
now.
get him on the line.
Yeah, we're calling him right now.
You know what we've got to do is when we reach out to people, well, hopefully we'll have a great connection with him.
Yeah.
We need landlines.
Yeah, we do.
Not for us, for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're all ready to go.
Yep.
Let's see.
JD?
Hey, JD.
Good morning.
Morning. Hey, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for coming on the show.
You bet. Hey, hang on 1 second, all right?
Okay.
I'm sitting here with some students at Lancaster High School, and they want to tell you good morning.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
Oh, that was nice.
Is that a whole class?
That's a class.
All right, I'm gonna step outside and then.
Nice.
He's working it.
Yeah.
How y'all doing today?
We're good. How are you? It seems that you're busy. You're a busy bee today.
Yeah, we're Mrs. Goodrow, the history teacher at Lancaster High School, that is in charge of Operation All the Way Home with Gerald Hancock. She does a veteran speaking panel at the end of every school year that I'm on. So I'm with her history class this morning.
Nice.
Well, you've got a lot to talk about. I know last night I heard that the Tea Party out in Lake L.A., Little Rock, rescinded their endorsement and threw their endorsement behind you.
Yes. Yes, we're very, very, very excited about that.
Why?
Now, you know, Angelina, she doesn't get the Tea Party.
Yeah, help me with the Tea Party. What's that whole thing? Because I feel like it's Republicans with a hoodie.
What's that?
You're not a Tea Party member, are you?
Well, the way the Tea Party works out here, there's not a membership application, so to speak. With the Tea Party, it's not really it's not a political party. It's more of a movement that of conservative-minded people. They're not necessarily Republican, not necessarily Democrat.
Really?
It's open to anybody who has conservative values and principles and ideals that want to hold their elected people accountable for actions that hurt our country or our state, mainly fiscally. They do have social issues in mind that they stand by as well.
Yeah, well, Angelina
that's
can't
that
join.
social part. Yeah, I can't join.
She can't join. Hey, JD, I know that this morning the AV Press came out with their list of endorsements, and they also endorsed you.
Yes. Yesterday was a great day. This morning is another great day. Very, very excited to give the Tea Party support, and immediately followed by the Antelope Valley Press. I didn't know that I'd be opening up the paper today to read that, but that's how I start my day, and that's what I saw. So very, very excited about that. I think they see that I'm a viable choice. It seems that the Valley Press editors lean right. They didn't seem to give any Democrat any consideration at all. They did a write-up today that was really good for all three candidates. I think they're right. They noted that regardless of which Republican choice we have after next Tuesday, we're in good hands and we'll have a good conservative person moving on to November. But they did endorse me. They highlighted the main reason, I think, is they think I've got guts, I've got backbone. Early on in this race, I was told I didn't have a right to run, that I wouldn't have any support and that my political career would end. And I stood up to that, and I said, quite frankly, you'll just have to beat me on June 3rd, and good luck to you. But I'm going to give you a race, and we're going to do everything we can to get as many votes as we can. And by God, we're doing it. We're running hard. We're everywhere we can be. We're making thousands of phone calls. We're walking precincts every day now, and making sure the voters know that they've got an option. They don't have to just vote for the party's pick.
Mm-hmm. Right. With California's new primary law, top two go, everybody else goes home. I said at the top of the hour that, if I had to bet, I would bet that we're going to see Steve Fox on the other side of the primary. All right? The primary, though, JD, you're gaining a lot of steam. There's no question about it. More steam than a lot of people. I got a lot of text messages this morning talking about, wow, did you see this? Did you see this? What's going on? You're gaining a lot of steam. You're running against, on the Republican end, you're running against somebody that's got a lot of name recognition, that's been here for a long time, Tom Lackey. I know Suzette is also there, but, at the end of the day, it's two horses out of the race. It's you and Tom Lackey. That's just my opinion, and you guys can say whatever you want to say. Mm-hmm. This is a tough one. I've seen your signs all over the place. And I know you've been running TV. I know you've been running radio. You're even running radio on our show.
Yes.
I have a question. Were you going to a question? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I was just speaking, but you can
I'm
cut me off midstream.
I'm sorry. No, you know why? I was just thinking, we just got off the phone with Steve Fox, JD, and one of the things that he had said, because, he's talking about the Assembly bill, one of which that he's working on right now to protect the Antelope Valley, to continue to be the dumping ground for sex offenders is 1607. And I was asking him questions like, if he doesn't get reelected, what happens to that Assembly bill and things of that nature. And during the course of having the conversation with him, it dawned on me, you're an attorney, and it probably fit very well for you to get up there because you understood the law. He mentioned that he's got countless years on the hospital board. He's got a background in education. And I'm just wondering, what are you pulling from your background that you would believe that makes you a good fit to be able to go up to Sacramento and deal with these types of situations?
To deal with that situation with
just with the job.
Rapist bill?
Just the job in and of itself.
The job in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd point first to my relatability to the veteran community. We're going to be seeing thousands more vets return here to the Antelope Valley in the course of the next few years. I'm the only candidate you've got in this race that can relate to them, that has navigated the VA system, not just on a personal level, getting my own benefits in line, getting my own health care, using the GI Bill, using the VA home loan, exploring the options of the CalVet loan that needs reform. And I've also worked with my time at Congressman McKeon's office and serving those vets, and I know what problems there are very intimately. With the CalVet home loan, I would say we can do better. Our vets deserve better. The CalVet home loan is not competitive at all with other loans. I've used the federal VA loan twice now because it's such a better option. And if we added a couple of changes to that loan, we'd see vets using the state veteran home loan rather than the federal one, and that would be a huge boost to our economy. As far as Assemblyman Fox's work on the Hubbard case with that specific bill, I'm happy that that's one thing I would say I'm actually happy that my Assemblyman is working on. I've been doing everything I can with the tools I've got and the relationships I've got to help out with that as well. And we gathered just locally 12,000 signatures on letters to protest the release of Hubbard into our community. Steve Fox sent out mailers and collected thousands as well, and I'm happy to be represented in that manner with somebody that's willing to stand up and fight for that. And I'd also continue that fight, and we are continuing that fight right now, and we're doing everything we can to call the governor's attention to it, and hopefully he'll use his powers to keep Hubbard in the mental institution he's been in.
Hey, JD, let me ask you a question. Flash forward. Let's say you get elected and you go up to Sacramento. Can you work both sides of the aisle?
Well, I'm a Republican, Steve.
I know.
I don't think that we need to work both sides of the aisle. You take a look at the powers that be in Sacramento. Democrats can do whatever they want right now. They don't need Republican support. I would look to the Democrats and say, why aren't you working both sides of the aisle? You're not welcoming Republican input on anything.
But wait a minute, JD. If you're going to be representing me, if you're elected, you're going to be representing me, and I'm not necessarily a Republican. So are you saying if you're elected, then what I feel is important to me, you're not paying attention to? Because I'm still part of your community.
You absolutely are. My priorities are listed on my website. They include items and issues that I think affect all of us, regardless of what party you are. Our community needs water. We all need water, regardless of what party you are. We all need jobs. We should all be doing everything we can to bring more businesses into our community. We should be working with our businesses that are currently here and making sure that we can keep them. Regardless of what party you are, you need a job. Regardless of what party you are, you can't deny that our state is spending too much money in areas that shouldn't be priority. And the items that are listed on my site, my platform issues, those are the things that I'll be working on those benefit
Yeah,
everybody.
and I
regardless of what your
get
party
that.
is.
I totally get that. But I think that it's just important to say, if he just asked whether or not you would be okay with working both sides, I don't think the answer should be, well, let's ask the Democrats if they want to work both sides. You're going to be up there, so it's about what you intend on doing. Are you going to work both sides?
But what he's saying
No, he
is...
can speak.
Okay.
I will stand on my principles, on what I believe in.
Yeah, and I want you to do that.
Anybody that's willing to work with me
Mm-hmm.
on the issues that I'm running on, the issues that I believe are most important, not just to our community, but to the entire state.
Mm-hmm.
I'll work with anybody that will work on those issues,
Okay.
regardless of party.
Okay.
What kind of what you were saying, and just tell me if I'm wrong, but was that the Republicans haven't really had a voice up there, okay? And it's been a supermajority.
Yeah, no, I
okay?
get that. But you just asked
Okay.
a simple question: are you going to work both? Are you going to work both aisles? And that was your question.
Right, and JD, at the end of the day, you go to Sacramento, the Antelope Valley is kind of a 50-50 split between the red and the blue team, right?
Yeah.
Our local area?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think actually Democrat registration is up a little bit right now.
Right. Okay. Well, let's say it's 50-50.
So our decline in states because they've been, disgusted with both parties.
Yeah, and I mean, some
state
people.
numbers are up.
People vote both sides because I don't necessarily always vote Democratic. If I like somebody and they speak to me, then I'll vote whatever I think is the best for me. And you feel the same way, Steve. I know.
I do. And,
so just because the numbers might be a little up on Dems, it doesn't mean that he won't be able to pull it, and win it because of whatever else.
Right. No, I get that. I understand that. JD, I think there's going to be a lot of people in this primary. I think there's going to be a group of people that aren't necessarily going to vote their party.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, and it happened last year in 2012. I think it's going to happen again this year. But you've got a lot of people listening to you right now, JD, and they're not quite sure who to vote for. What do you want to say to them?
Well, I asked them for their vote. I tell you what, I think you're absolutely right. A lot of people, especially since obviously we've got the open primary system. You can vote for whoever you like, regardless of party. I was out at CSUB at the Antelope Valley College campus last night talking to a business ethics class, about 30 students, and I asked, I said, who's our Democrats in the room? About a third of the room were Democrats, and the rest were Republicans. You asked who's registered to vote. Probably 25 of the 30 were registered. All the Democrats were registered. And at the end of the night, five of the Democrats told me flat out, you know what, I'm voting for you. I don't know whether I'm really a Democrat. I don't know whether I'm a Republican, but I'm voting for you. I'm a registered Democrat voting for J.D. Kennedy. Mm-hmm. And we hear that over and over again. And I know that we've got Democrat support, but we've got a slew of conservative support as well. And I would work with anybody interested in working on the issues that are my priorities. To the voters that are undecided, I'd ask them to take a look at my website. My priorities and life experience are spelled out on CandidateForAssembly.com. If they follow me on Facebook, they can connect with me through either a private message or just a comment, and I'd be happy to talk to them.
Hey, JD, let me ask you a question. I know Dennis Anderson is a veteran. Do you think the fact that Dennis Anderson at AV Press was a veteran and that you're a veteran helped you to get endorsed over there?
Is Navy Press a Republican party?
You know what? I think I bring the most to the table for veterans. We've got 35,000 vets in our community, and I think the Valley Press takes that into account. They've recognized everything I've done in my time working for Congressman McKeon, not only as his staff person, but also on my own time. And they see that I'm somebody that gets things done. And I think that's what they're looking for. They want to support somebody that's got a record of getting things done, that has a passion for community service, and that's got a backbone that'll stand up for what they believe.
The primary is just a couple of days away. Are you having a hard time sleeping yet?
We're just running out of time.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
By the time it's time to crash, I crash. But we got 3 hours of sleep last night, so I don't know whether it's hard to sleep or it's just we're working hard, and every minute we have is precious. So we're doing everything we can with every minute we've got.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on the show. I'd like to get you back on Tuesday morning if I could for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right. JD, well, get some rest, JD.
Go back to your class out there. Thanks for taking the time to come on. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks.
Thanks. When it comes to, it's a tough deal, and let me explain it this way. It's when a Democrat going to Sacramento, and you say, "Can you work both sides of the aisle?" The answer
I
is,
asked Lackey the same thing, and he said he can.
I understand.
I mean, the bottom line is that you need to recognize that even those 5 Dems that he spoke to in the audience that said that they were going to vote for him, they may have other Democratic issues that they want addressed. I don't know. I mean, I just think that it's interesting that he says as long as they want to work on issues that are on my agenda, that he's willing to work with them. I think that you have to go into Sacramento knowing that it's not all about you, and it's not all about the Republican or the Democratic Party. It's about everybody that lives in that community. Whether or not we end up losing Steve Fox, he's going to represent a good majority of people that have the same priorities and considerations and issues that Steve Fox has. So yes. I want to know that whoever's up there, because otherwise it's politics as usual. I want to see politicians that are breaking the mold in that and are not so party loyal that I can't talk to you because you're a Democrat. Or those issues are not important to me. Okay, they're not important to you, but there's a huge community that they're important to.
The issues that we have in the Antelope Valley, the issues that you have, the issues that I have, these are not partisan issues.
Right.
Okay? These are regular issues.
Right.
And it'd be great if instead of right now we've got 5 people running for state assembly. Okay? It'd be great if it was, again, like I said, 5 people. Not 2 Democrats, not 3 Republicans.
Right.
We've got 5 people, okay, that are running. Pick the best, okay?
Yeah.
Pick your candidate, the one that speaks to you, the one that you think is going to work hardest for you.
Right.
Okay, that's what you have to do. A lot of people have been saying to me, for us, or for me, it's about experience. I'm looking for experience. I'm looking for somebody that already knows how to navigate their way around here. This is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and
for other people, I'm hearing people say it's energy. I mean, it's this.
Energy?
Energy
in the wrong place don't get you nowhere.
I'm hearing a lot of things.
You know what I mean? You could be energetic all day and still be spinning your wheels.
Like a rabbit on a wheel.
Yeah.
I get that, okay? At the end of the day, though, we need to send somebody up there that can get things done in the Antelope Valley. It's not red team, blue team. Okay,
it's the team.
It is the team, and this is the 36th district,
and
that's what we need.
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
That's what's going to be.
That's the ultimate bottom line: is that they need to represent all of us, not some of us. And I want to know that there's an open door policy, regardless of who's in there. And the other thing that just doesn't sit well is 2 years doesn't seem like enough time to really get stuff done because there's so much opposition up there. Because of the party lines, because of the politics that are played behind the scenes, that a lot of stuff can't get done. And then that whole, what is it? You have to present all the bills that you're going to work on at a certain time, and then it's shut down. Like, this is a mess.
Right.
The whole process on how they work is a mess.
But you've got thousands and thousands of bills that they have to sift through to figure. It is a mess. But, like, you just said, to be able to navigate your way up, it's easier. It's been easier for Steve Fox to navigate his way around because he had the support of the Speaker, of Perez. He had that support, and he was a Democrat, okay? So it was easier for him at that time to get things done.
Which I'm sure whoever wins will have the support of their party. They're not going to let him go up there blind and not do anything. They might get a list of this is what you're supporting this year.
Well,
sit down in your office.
Kermit Franklin made a comment at our candidate debate, and this is one thing that kind of bothered me. because he said, look, if you send a Republican up there, he's not going to get anything done, okay? And if you send a Democrat up, especially a first-year Democrat, he's not going to get anything done because they're already told.
Well, why would he say that?
This is what he said. We could play it back, and that's what he said. And so at the end of the day, he said, don't vote for me either.
Right.
Okay? Which you know, that in and of itself was nuts.
Yeah.
I believe that anybody that you send up there can get stuff done.
Yeah.
Okay? Is Steve Fox entrenched up there already?
Yes, he is.
You know, yeah, he's got his GPS and his car's on autopilot, and he already, yes, there's no question about it. But I believe that anybody can get stuff done up there if they're there to work and get stuff done. If it's not about partisan stuff.
Yeah.
That's going to be the thing.
That is the thing. And that's what people need to listen to. And I mean, I appreciate the fact that JD's background is vets. But I asked him, what does he have in his background that would make him a good fit? And that's the only thing that he mentioned, is that he can speak to the vets.
Okay, he can speak to the vets, and he didn't really touch on the fact that he was with Buck McKeon for 4 years, okay?
But
and understands, I understand, and understands, you know, that process as well. That's where experience comes in, okay? That's, you know, where experience comes in. And I hear this, I hear a lot of people, I hear people say, you know, I like him because he's young, he's fresh, he's got energy. I hear other people say, you know what, Tom Lackey, school board, highway patrol, city council, vice mayor, has been involved in bringing lots of businesses to the Antelope Valley. Look at the mall, Dick's Sporting Goods, H&M, you know, all this stuff, 47, you know, understands what it takes to bring a business up to the Antelope Valley. I hear a lot of things from a lot of people.
Yeah.
The primary is going to be a difficult thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, you know, it's not going to be a difficult thing. You know what I think that most people rely on? They rely on the fact that people don't do their homework. That's the same reason why Tanaka's still running.
Well, they don't vote.
No, they don't do their homework. They just see the name so many times, and they go in there. If they decide to vote, they go in there and they just vote for the name that they see a lot because they don't pay attention. And I think a lot of these politicians rely on that.
I think the early mail-in ballots, I think, are going to play a large role in this primary election.
Well,
I think it's going to be a large role.
You got to get it done.
A lot of people don't vote, but the people that get those mail-in ballots, they do vote. And I think that's going to be very pivotal in this election.
Yeah.
It was in 2012, but that was a presidential election too.
Yeah.
I'm hoping voter turnout is 10%. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it is. People don't
10%.
They don't get out and vote.
No.
Okay. They'll sit home. They'll complain.
Yeah.
But they don't get out.
Well, I mean, you know, in their defense, look at what we get stuck with. Tanaka should be ashamed of himself. What are you doing? Why are you taking people's money to even put yourself in a position like that when you know you're dirty?
Right. You know, I wanted to ask Steve Fox. Do I have 1 minute just to finish it? Yeah, I got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
There is a bill going through the Senate and the Assembly. Okay, and it talks to crack cocaine. And let me tell you, just a second, because, no, hear me out. Because we know that our justice system is not right and not fair, okay? And we also know that in many instances, African Americans get convicted more and harsher than a white guy, okay? Well, Sacramento also knows that. And they said, hey, you know what? We're looking at the convictions right now when it comes to crack cocaine throughout the state of California. And we're seeing that an African American is sentenced longer and convicted more, okay, by a rate of 50% more than a white guy. We're going to reduce the penalties on crack cocaine. We're going to reduce it so that this doesn't happen.
Well, it's going to happen. It's just going to be reduced.
No, we need a way to change this. No, because what they found was 2 guys get arrested, okay? One is African American, one is white. They're both arrested for possession of crack. They both have the same amount. The white guy gets half the sentence that the black guy gets. So they're now taking the sentence and they're reducing them.
Oh, I see.
So you can't sentence him. The most you now can sentence is this, okay? Now it's going to be an even playing field. They're starting to see that.
No, well, what I'm saying is they can make the playing field even, but the judge will still dictate what he wants to dictate.
He can't go beyond these guidelines now.
I understand.
He can't go beyond this.
Yeah, but if he can't go beyond 5 years, say it was 10 years. Say one got 10 years, the other one got 5 years. Now the max is 5 years. So the white guy would get 2 years and the black guy would get 5 years.
Okay, well,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying they're cognizant of it. They're trying to change it. They're
I
working on
appreciate
that.
it.
Okay,
You know,
we've got a lot of judges up for re-election right now. Okay,
God knows we need to pay attention to that.
This is an opportunity to do things too. You know, hey, you've got an event that you need to talk about, NAMI AV on Saturday.
Yeah, NAMI is having their very first fundraiser event on Saturday. Jeff and I are on the board, and it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of stuff. The community really pulled out all the stops and came up and understood that, you know, mental health should be in the forefront of everybody's lives, because if you're not healthy, you really can't be productive. And if you're dealing with a person in your life that has mental issues, you really need to have that ally. You have to have that support. So NAMI is going to have its very first event Saturday evening, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, and tomorrow we'll get into the location and all of that?
Well, yeah.
You got it all now?
You know, I don't have it with me, so I guess we will do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that. I know we're out of time.
Yep, we are.
All right. Thanks for listening to AV Newscast and making us the #1 news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley. Take us with you wherever you go.
Yes.
We're on the Spreaker Radio Network. Have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow.